Hello,
Hey, everybody.
Thank you, dog. It's Friday. It's
Happy TDIF, everyone.
Yeah, woohoo! It's Thank Dog. It's Friday. We're so happy to be with you today. I'm excited.
It's the best day of the week.
It is.
So,
it is.
if you don't know who we are, I am Hillary. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Sorry about that.
No,
I am
you're
Hillary
fine.
Buchholz, and I am here with the amazing and wonderful Patty Quinn.
I pay her to say that. Thanks, everybody. Hi, how you doing? Thanks so much for being with us today.
And we are the co-founders of We Heart Hounds, and we like to get together every Friday and do something just fun, lighthearted in honor of our love of pups. So it could be crafts, it could be recipes, all sorts of fun stuff. So today we are working on a recipe, and it is called Frosted PUPkin Dog Bones. So We've got a little Halloween theme going on.
Just a little bit. Yep. I can't believe Halloween's tomorrow already.
I know. It's
crazy.
snuck up on us.
And we've been doing a lot of like Halloween pumpkin themes, but it just feels like it just all of a sudden popped up and here it is. So we've got to have treats for our little pups. The kiddos aren't the only ones that get the good stuff, right?
I've got one that's whining at me from the balcony.
And I've got one curled up under her little blankie right here. She knows there's good stuff afoot, so we'll see about getting her something a little later once I get it in the oven. So anyway, I'm super excited. This will be a fun one today.
It's super easy. So all you need is just a handful of ingredients. So a cup of flour.
Okay.
You can use regular flour, that's what I'm using, but you could substitute this for whole wheat flour or a flour that you know is going to work well for your pups. So you can substitute. So a cup of flour. And then a quarter of a teaspoon of baking powder.
All right. And I haven't made this before, so I'm just following along. All right. We've got my little sous chef is ready.
We have one coming down the stairs.
Something good's gonna happen.
And then a quarter of a teaspoon of turmeric. And this turmeric is really good for anti-inflammatory, but it also adds that really nice bright color to the recipe as well. So makes it kind of fun. Adds to that it adds kind of a bright yellow, but it works well with the pumpkin that we're going to be adding next.
That's great. Well, we want these extra bright and cheery for Halloween.
Yep. So the next one is half a cup of pumpkin, and this is pumpkin puree. So make sure that when you get it, it comes in a can. When you get it, it just says 100% pumpkin. There's no other ingredients in it. So like not the pumpkin pie filling, because that one has nutmeg and some other things that can be harmful for pups. So just plain old pumpkin.
Plain old pumpkin. And I think Ginger wants to lick the spoon.
It is a very popular flavor around our house. And then our last ingredient is just a tablespoon of olive oil.
Okay. And that's a tablespoon, not a teaspoon, right?
Yep, that's a tablespoon. And then you're going to start working this together. And as you're working it, it seems like, oh my gosh, that's too much flour and it's really hard to work together. You're going to start with your spoon, and then the best utensils for actually getting it to come together for a batter is for your fingers. So you're just going to get in there and work it into a dough.
Dive in.
So don't be tempted to add more liquids. It really doesn't need it. That pumpkin has plenty of moisture in it, so it'll just start to kind of come together and still look pretty crumbly at about this stage. And then at this stage, you can start using your hands and make it all come together in a nice batter.
Okay. This is where it's fun for kiddos too, right?
Yep.
Get in there and get messy and
Getting messy, and
all that good
it's
stuff.
it's got a nice feel to it. This
Oh
dough,
yeah, yeah.
and we're gonna be rolling it out, and that olive oil that we added in there really helps to keep it from sticking and all that when you're actually rolling it out.
Yeah, it's actually incorporating really nicely, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it would when you've just kind of used the spoon, but once you start working it in.
And it's not real messy on my fingers. You know, I was thinking I'm not in my kitchen, so I thought I was going to end up with a lot of sticky fingers at the end of this, but no, it's actually pretty easy to work with.
There's my dough.
There's mine.
Very awesome. All right. So I'm going to let Patty do this portion of the recipe. You're just going to roll it out. So you can add a little bit extra flour at this point and kind of flour your rolling surface, and you can flour the top a little bit if you feel like it needs it.
Okay.
It really just depends on the touch or the feel of it. So mine was still a little bit stickier, it looks like, than yours is. And you're going to roll it out to about 1/4 of an inch-ish. You can make them thicker or thinner. I probably wouldn't go any thinner than 1/4 of an inch, but you can make them thicker. It'll just change the cooking time on it.
Okay.
I'm going to rinse my hands real quick.
Yeah, no problem. And I don't have a rolling pin, so I'm just using a glass, and it works just as well. You know, a nice heavy glass will get the job done. All right. This is a pretty color. Definitely pumpkin-y.
It turns out nice and bright, and
yeah,
good color for Halloween.
All right, so I'm going to dive in. So we've got our Halloween dog bones here that we're going to use, and I need to get this almost as big as Ginger. So I need it sometime.
A littler one.
I need to get a smaller one, but this is the one I could find. So these are going to be cute. Yeah, this is cute.
And they cut nice, and then obviously after you've cut the bundle of them, you can roll back the scraps and cut again for anything that's left on.
So I'm going to just keep adding it to my little tray here, and then Hillary, you can talk about all the fun stuff that comes next.
So once you have all of your cookies cut out, you're gonna have your oven preheated to 350, and then you'll bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes. So I would check on them at 10 minutes. Mine did need a little bit more time. I think I was like 11 and a half-ish, but so 10 to 12 minutes, I think. And then this is what they look like. So they do puff a bit once you bake them.
That baking powder, right? That'll get them to pop up a little bit, which is nice.
Yep. So
those are cute.
You can stop right here if you don't want to do the frosting portion, but I'm going to work on the frosting. So one thing I would say is definitely bake them, let them cool completely before you do the frosting, because if they're too warm, it'll just kind of melt this frosting and it won't give you the effect you're looking for.
Yeah.
So this frosting is super simple. One of the reasons why I was looking for a frosting that was dog safe, that hardens, so it makes it a little bit easier to store the cookies and stuff like that. Because you could do, like a softer frosting of like combination of yogurt and peanut butter, and you just kind of mix it together and you can make frosting like that for pups. But that doesn't harden. So I wanted one that would actually harden. So what I'm doing is a frosting that is, I don't know if you've made oobleck when you were a kid, which is basically just cornstarch and water, and that kind of cool texture that you get from those two. So you can use cornstarch and water. That's the ingredients and then a little bit of honey are the 3 ingredients for this frosting.
Okay.
I'm using tapioca flour, which you can substitute for the cornstarch, but either one of them will work.
Okay.
So I've got a 1/4 cup of tapioca flour. And then I have a 1/4 cup. We're not going to use that much water, but I have a 1/4 cup sitting here just to dip into. And what you're going to want to do is just add kind of a teaspoon at a time of the water to get it to a little bit more liquidy consistency. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of honey. So
okay,
just starting here and adding a couple teaspoons of my water. Grab a spoon. And if you remember oobleck, it's got that crazy consistency. So if you add pressure to it, like as you're stirring, it starts to get really stiff. If you kind of do it slowly and softly, that's how you can kind of incorporate everything. So I need a little bit more water. And really this water, the water to cornstarch and or tapioca flour consistency, you're just looking for the right consistency. So there's no particular, oh, that's the right amount or whatever. You're just going to have to kind of play with it to get it to the consistency that you're looking for.
So you're looking for kind of like a frosting consistency that's a little on the watery side, right?
A little bit, yep, a little bit wet. So if you can see, this is still pretty powdery right here, but I'm going to add in my honey at this point. So 2 teaspoons of honey. And you could also, to this frosting, if you wanted to have it a different color for different, we're leaving ours white for the bones, but if you wanted to, you could do a dog safe food coloring at this point. But just remember, anything that's got that liquid is going to change the consistency. So don't get it perfect and then add your food coloring, because that'll change the consistency. So you kind of want to add it as you're working through to kind of get it to the right.
All right. And I'm just rolling up my scraps and continuing to cut some more little doggy bones. Yours are a lot smaller and probably more appropriate for Ginger. Here are mine.
And those would be more, Lulu thinks those would be more appropriate for her.
So we'll have to do a sleepover where Lulu comes and has some over here, and then Ginger has some of yours over at your house.
So here, after I added that honey, you can see now it's so now you can see after I added that honey, now it's stayed to that consistency that I'm kind of looking for. So that's what I mean about every little tiny bit of moisture is going to change it. So you kind of just need to work slow-ish, you know, work bit by bit, and then get it to the consistency that you're looking for.
Yeah, you really want it runny so it can drizzle. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So I've got my little bones here, and I'm just gonna take and drizzle.
Oh, how pretty. Looks like a real chef. Looks real fancy. I love it.
And then you do want to give it a little bit of time to actually harden up. So, you know, just leave them, let them harden, and then you can store them.
Okay. Oh, those are so pretty.
There's those ones, and I have some that
so pretty.
That's some that I finished on my little jack-o'-lantern plate here.
Oh.
So.
Oh, those are adorable. I love that. Those are cute. You got quite a bit out of your batch too.
And we've already eaten a fair amount of it. Not we. This.
Oh, look at her. Hi, Lulu. Oh, that's adorable. That's adorable. My little pumpkin spice girl, she'll get some when I put them in the oven. I don't know if you'll get a whole one all at once, though, but we'll see.
They're almost as big as you.
I know, exactly. Exactly. Oh,
So
well, this is great.
yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you end up making these, please share some pictures with us. Let us know how they turned out, if you enjoyed them, or if you have, variations on it. We love to hear your comments and feedback on all of these recipes. So, and if you're looking for other recipes, we have a huge long playlist of all our TDIFs. There's tons of recipes in there. There's tons of crafts in there. So if you know somebody that would enjoy them, please like, share. It really does help us a ton if you do that.
Yeah, exactly. And we sure hope all of your little furry ghosts and goblins have a very happy Halloween tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Have a great one.
Bye.